Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to download Visual Studio and the FileZilla together in Windows machine. It's very similar to Mac, but let's see how we can do it. So first let's go to Google and we want to search Visual Studio Code. So let me type Visual Studio Code and you will find this search result. So if you click download, you will go to this web page. And in this web page, it's Windows machine, so you will click this button, and then it's gonna be automatically downloaded. So if you wait a few seconds, it will start to download. So I already downloaded in my local folder. So let's go to downloads folder in my case. So I will click this file to install Visual Studio Code. So let me click it. And if you click it, just move on, accept the agreement, next. And also here you have this directory path. We will not change it, but actually you need to remember this since we have to integrate this software with FileZilla later. So let's just look at C users and the username. In my case, this is my username. The app data, local programs, Microsoft VS Code. So if you think you cannot remember it, you may just copy this and let's say you open Notepad. So you may just open Notepad and let me just copy here. So I wanna just keep this directory where you install Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now let's go back to installation. So I will click next and the next and next, and I will install. So it's not very heavy program, so it will be installed shortly. So after we install this, we are going to download FileZilla, and we install FileZilla, then we will connect these two programs. Okay, so let's wait one more minute, and finally it's done. So I will finish it. And then let's go back to web browser. And now this time search FileZilla. And for FileZilla, similarly we can download it, but there is one caution. Because if you download from this first page link, it includes a lot of promotional software and adwares. So do not click this download link. Instead, let's go to left side menu and click downloads. And even here, do not download from here because it includes all the sponsored applications. So what you have to do is you must click more download options. So let's click more download options here. And then finally, we can find a clean version of this FileZilla. So in our case, it's 64-bit. I'm going to download this Win64 setup file. So I will click it, and when it's downloaded, it is, in my case, it's in this folder, document folder. So I assume you already downloaded this file, and if you install it, it's gonna be, take just 1 minute, and you install. Suppose you have downloaded both programs and I still open this directory where you installed the Visual Studio Code in this notepad. So let's check it whether both softwares are installed successfully. Yes, we have a FileZilla and Visual Studio Code. So let me open FileZilla first. First we have to enter the host information, username and password to connect to the Valhalla server. So host, it's case sensitive, so very careful when you type the server name. Valhalla.sourcevalue.edu. Type your host name. For host name in this case, you don't need to add like a HTTPS protocol. Just type Valhalla sourcevalue.edu with no typo. Now username. In my case, username is this, and the same username you have used for your database. Password as well. So let me type password. And the port number, you must specify port number. For file transferring, port number 22 is used. And then let's try to click connect. If it's the first time, it may ask some warning. There is unknown host key. You can just click OK. If you successfully logged in, you will find your home directory on the right side. So this remote site is Valhalla server, and this is Linux server system. And under the root directory, we have a home directory, and under home there is directory. The directory name is the same as your username, and this is your default home directory. So when we develop web applications, it's running on the server, so you will put everything in your home directory. Okay, now after you set up this, if you successfully connected, before we move on further, set up this with the coding editor Visual Studio. So we installed Visual Studio as well. Since you will add some file in your server, as an editor, we wanna open this program. From FileZilla, watch carefully, go to Edit, and you must open Settings. And in this Settings, and we can find the File Editing at the bottom. And if you click File Editing, instead of this option, do not use default editor, we want to use a custom editor, so click this, and then we have to find where that program is. If you have been following my direction, you must have this copied path where you have installed the Visual Studio Code. So using this as a reference, let's try to find the software that we want to connect with FileZilla. So let's browse it and go to C. And in this directory, it says that we need to go to users. So let's go to users. And then here is my username. And then under here, we have to go to app data. But now the problem is there is no app data. Now there is one more step. You have to change the setting. This time, let's go to Explorer. So Windows File Explorer. And go to File Explorer, and then let's click View, and under View you may click Hidden Items. So if you click Hidden Items, actually from now on you can see the hidden folder that include app data folder. So now let's just close it. Okay, so now let's try one more time. Let's click Browse, and under C, and the users, and my username. And in this case, now you can see there are some gray folder name app data. So it was hidden, but now you can see this hidden directory. So let me click app data, and let's follow this path, local, and then programs. So where is program? It's alphabetically ordered. So let's click programs. And let's click Microsoft VS Code, and then there is a program called code. So let's open this. So by doing this, actually we can set up these directories. So if you installed in the same location, please follow my direction. So how you can find this code.exe file. Click OK. Now we set up the editor connected with this FileZilla, and now let's go back to remote site. So currently you must be under home and your username. So this is your home directory. If not, make sure you are in this location. So your location, the name is different because this is my username, but you may see your username. And in this directory, to run any web application, you have to create a new folder, new directory named public HTML. So when you're sure you're under your home directory, your username directory, inside here, right click, and let's create a directory. And the directory is, again, double check it, home and under CHAH. So in this case, your username. And then instead of new directory, we will type public underbar HTML. Everything is case sensitive, so double check whether there is any typo. Public or lowercase with no space underbar HTML. You must create this directory. So let's create this directory. Okay, right now you have a few system files and the directory, and then you must have this public underbar HTML directory. This is called your web root directory because you must locate any HTML and PHP files under this directory. You should not save any file directly under your home, but you must save it under public HTML. So as the first example, so you need to save some file. So we have to go into this directory first. So let's double click public HTML. Now you can see on top in tree structure, your current directory is not CHAH or your username, but now you are in the public HTML folder. Okay, inside the public HTML folder, you can now create a HTML page or PHP page. But after you have a lot of programs, it is a little bit hard to organize. So under public HTML, it may be a good idea to create some subdirectories. So if you are do some codings, for example, for topic 1, we may want to use create a new directory. Now this is under home, your username, public HTML, and with slash, the name is, let's say, M4T1. Everything is case sensitive, so I use uppercase M and 4 and T1. Okay, so now I have this directory. So under M4T1, now you can create any file. So suppose we want to create a HTML file, then you may right click here and create a new file. And let's say my test.html. So I typed my test.html. So if you create this file, there is nothing in this file yet. So what you have to do, you need to edit this. So since we connect FileZilla with Visual Studio, if you right click this file, and if you click View Edit, it will automatically open your Visual Studio programs. And in this Visual Studio programs, we have some temp directory, and currently this server's file is downloaded and synced, and we can edit my test.html. So in this Visual Studio, let's make the first HTML page. So as an example, let's say HTML. And if you hit enter, actually it will create closing tags already. And let's create just a simple body tag. And inside this body, if we add one paragraph, and if you hit enter, because it's a programming editor, it will automatically create your closing tag. And inside this paragraph tags, let's say my first paragraph. So this is very simple HTML file. Again, this file is your local version. Local version means it is in your temp directory. It's not in the server. So when you open the editor, it automatically make a copy of the same file in your local computer. But if you try to save it, let's see. If you click save from your Visual Studio, it's gonna be saved. And when you save it, if you go back to FileZilla, it will automatically detect there is a change in my test HTML. So you did ask whether you wanna send the updated version of this file to your remote computer. So in this case, Valhalla server. So in sum, you are editing this file in your local machine, but when there is any changes, so when you click your save button, when you go back to your FileZilla, either detect the change and either ask whether you wanna overload the current file in the Valhalla server with this new file. So we wanna say yes. So now this new file, this my test HTML has been updated with some HTML codes. So now how to test this? You can find some more detailed information in topic 1, but let's try to open it from your web browser. So let's open the browser, and on the web browser, this is the file location, my test HTML, under public HTML, but what is the mapping URL address? The URL address is https here, and under HTTP Valhalla server, valhallasolidvery.edu, this is a server location, and the slash, and in this server we have many users, and each user has a home directory. So how can we access the home directory? With this wave sign, tilde sign, and then you must type your username. In my case, uppercase C and HA, and H is my username, but you must access your username. If you type your username with a tilde sign, this is the location where it is matched with your public HTML directory. Okay, so note that your public HTML directory, if you want to access that directory, you must use this URL address. Okay, now since it is matched with public HTML, we have a subdirectory. So if you want to access the subdirectory of public HTML, you must type M4T1 here. So now we are inside M4T1 directory. So again, note that we did not use public HTML in the URL. If you type your username, it automatically pointing the public HTML directory. And inside this directory, we have M4T1 directory. And inside this directory, finally, what's the file name? My test.html. So we can type my test.html. So if you are accessing the server for the first time, you may wanna click proceed, and you can move on. And then if you successfully open this my test.html, you will see this my first paragraph. As we move on, we may need to create more subdirectory here, and each subdirectory will have a lot of programming code, including PHP and the HTML. Okay, so that's it. That's about how to set up the FileZilla and the Visual Studio environments.